today is Alex Georgetti, Director of Manufacturing Strategy for Eaton's Vehicle Group. I understand that global governance and standardization fall within your purview. Can you talk about what that what that's like? Is that as overwhelming a responsibility as it sounds like? It's such a large company and thinking globally.
Inside Eaton, one of the business group is vehicle group. So I lead that implementation for vehicle group. And I'm also part of what we call a governance council for Eaton as a global, as a corporation. So in that Eaton as a corporation, that is myself representing vehicle group, and there are my peers representing the other business groups. But what I can tell you is everything that we developed and implemented for vehicle group then became the standard for the other business groups. So what we started by defining what we call 10 Industry 4.0 solutions that would be focused on to deploy. And then we said, okay, if you want to deploy those in a standard way globally, doesn't matter which country you are, doesn't matter the culture we are talking about, we need a governance model. And that governance model has a couple of elements. First one, we call a pragmatic, integrated, and structured approach, where we start not just deploying any technology because that's cool. No, we start from what's the business drive, what's the need to deploy that technology. Based on the business drivers, then we can identify which one of those solutions should be deployed. Based on the deployment of that solution, we know what are the benefits we are expecting, and then partnering with our continuous improvement teams. When we go to a particular location, we leverage lean tools like value stream map to select which is the best area to start that deployment on that plant. And then finally, we created what we call Indus 4.0 product family recipes. When we look at the products we produced, we split those against process value streams to produce those products, and we cross those against the solutions we want to implement. So as we go to a site, we know which product they are produced, we know what's the most critical value stream, we know which solution is to be deployed, and then the recipe tells us how to deploy that in a standard way. Together with that approach, we have what we call a steering committee. So we have representations from all the global pieces, and we have our councils per Indus 4.0 solution. So the steering, we debate the strategy, we agree how to do, and then through the councils, we deploy that globally in the same way.
Now onto automation in the form of robots. What kinds of robots is Eaton's vehicle group utilizing, and how are they helping increase both safety and productivity?
Yeah, on that space, that's another interesting discussion, because when we say automation for us, we essentially split that in two groups. We call the automation, and then we call the autonomous AJVs, or the market also calls AMRs, and sometimes you can even combine the two. From the automation perspective, as you said, can be an EHS, or can be a productivity, can be a process that requires more quality control. But we are really exploring to deploy more and more cobots. And then cobots sometimes is what we call a one-arm cobot, sometimes is a two-arm cobot. So we really have examples where, thinking about an assembly bench, where on one side of the table you have a two-arm cobot, and the other side of the table you have a human being. And then together they are assembling our product. So it's really a collaborative operation where the other side of the table is a robot. That's one example. The other one is on these autonomous AJVs, where we are really using those to move our the parts we produce around our facility. And by doing that with those AJVs, we allow our operators or our employees to really focus on the value-added activities, not on just moving material from point A to point B. And these autonomous AJVs are really interesting, because they may be on a point A of the plant, and then you request them on the point B. They will not necessarily just go all the time A to B, because you don't know where the AJV is, but you are requesting on that side of the plant, and they're going to go straight to there, do the job, and keep going on.